Hey guys, it's Leo, and it's time to talk about episode 40 from HUGTTO PRECURE. This was a very nice episode. This was Lulu's episode. It's probably Lulu's final episode, final story in this season. But it also showed a lot of lore from HUGTTO PRECURE. We finally learned about Cure Tomorrow's story, and we learned about the time when HUGTTO PRECURE started. We finally learned what happened to Hugton. And yes, Hugton is Cure Tomorrow from the future. Now the Cures know about it, and some things called my attention. First one, I really liked the theater thing Dr. Trauma did. Something similar happened in Kira Kira last season. We had a little theater telling the story. I don't remember exactly what, but we had a theater in Kira Kira, right? And then in this story, we were able to see the silhouette of the Cures from the future. And I must say, I really liked the silhouette. We don't know the colors, we don't know the details, but I really enjoyed the silhouettes. And it made me it reminded me of when we saw the leaks from HUGTTO PRECURE the first time. They were all shadows. Do you guys remember that? They were all shadows. We didn't really know. We didn't really see their looks. It was all a shadow. And okay, so yeah, we learned that Hugton's actually Cure Tomorrow. We learned that we learned what happened between Hugton and Harry, and we learned about basically everything that happened before HUGTTO started, right before HUGTTO started, and why why Cure Tomorrow became Hugton. And I think that I understand Harry's feelings and why he didn't tell anyone about Cure Tomorrow becoming Hugton, because he wanted to protect her. He wanted to make Hugton feel safe, and he would not expose her because he knew that George would come after Hugton if he knew that Hugton was Cure Tomorrow, because that's his main goal, is to go back in time so that he can defeat Cure Tomorrow in the past, so that in the future she would not exist, she would not put up a fight, and things would happen perfectly for Kuryasu. And then we have the other plot of the episode, which is Dr. Trauma's story with Lulu. Dr. Trauma created Lulu, and with a little flashback, we were able to understand why he did that. He probably created Lulu being like this mad scientist because he had a daughter. He probably lost his daughter. We don't know how, we don't know when, we don't know if it actually was his daughter or someone from his family. We know nothing. But we know that there was a little girl in his life and he lost her. I think it's his daughter because he created Lulu, seeing her as a daughter as well. But things were not working the way he intended her to work. She was not acting according to his programming. And it ended up becoming a kind of a disaster for him. The experience was not good enough. And I think that experience was not good enough because he expected her to act just like his probable daughter. And she was not. She was just acting like Lulu. And one of the nice things about this episode was that Lulu felt really offended with everything. And so she ran away and she started thinking to herself, because she's not a person, she's an android. But she started thinking to herself, she started debating on if she was actually someone, she was actually like a person, or if she was just acting as programmed. And she started noticing some things that androids don't do, like eating, like laughing, like having fun, like loving, because she loves the girls, she loves Emiru, she loves Hugton, and she eats a lot. So she experiences feelings that are very human. And so she was not really understanding if those feelings were part of her programming or something else. And what Hana told her, I really liked when Hana told her that, Lulu, this is actually your heart. Because she's not only an android now, she has a heart, she has a human heart. I mean, not physically, but she has a soul. Like, there are lots of different ways of calling it. But I feel like what she means, what Hana actually meant, is that she kind of developed a human soul, a human way of feeling things. Maybe it's part of a brain, but I think that it's part of how you feel. I mean, this is not only connected to your brain, our emotions are not only rationalized. So I think that that's what Hannah meant when she was talking about it. And now that the Criasso Corp knows who HUGTTO really is, they're going full force to get her. And I think that I didn't even notice that Dr. Trauma was not even part of Criasso Corp anymore. I didn't even notice that because those last episodes were so crazy. They were so full of things that I completely forgot about him. But he was actually purified in the All-Stars episode. So I don't know. I think that I missed that. I really missed that. I thought that he was not really purified and he was going back to Criasso Corp at some point. And I think that I don't really understand his character as well, but I feel like he said something that was also very interesting, which is not only Lulu's creation, but all of his actions are very contradictory. And that's very human. That's very human, right? And I really liked when he went after Lulu with a robot, with a big robot. That is such a parent thing to do, you know? Going after your child, like totally out of touch with reality and making your child feel ashamed for you. And that's such a parent thing to do. We as children, we know that, right? We've been through that. As Criasso Corp is now going full force, we had Jealous attacking in this episode. Jealous is still with a punk rock look. I love that look for her. And she created such a nice perfume Oshimaida this week with the legs and the pumps. Oh my god, I really liked that. And actually, when things were going on in the fight, I thought the fight was kind of nice. The fight, for a while, the HUGTTO fights have been very boring overall. And she, the first part of the fight was kind of nice. And then Dr. Trump had to intervene. That was not necessary at all, but it was important for his connection with Lulu. And so he intervened and they were able to defeat it. I feel like the first part was nice when the girls were fighting. They should have been able to use their powers a little bit more. But okay, I'm fine with what we had in the first part. There were lots of combat, and I like seeing those girls rock because it's so rare in HUGTTO. It's so rare. They lose so easily. And then things went on nicely with Lulu and Dr. Trauma. She still doesn't accept him, but she's open to creating a new relationship with him, and that's nice as well. That's also a growth from her part. And now she wants, and it's interesting that she chose specifically eating with him because that's an important thing for her and that's a way of connecting people. I feel like eating is such a social thing to do. We gather to eat, we connect with other people to eat, we go out, meet with other people to eat, and that's such a social thing. And I think that Lulu, being the big eater she is, it's so relatable to her, this feeling of eating and connecting with people when you're eating. That's so Lulu. And one last thing I wanted to say about this episode was the fact that Saya and Homare, they were completely deleted from this episode. Saya had one moment. Saya had two moments, actually. One of the moments that Saya had was when Dr. Trump showed that little robot of his, and she thought it was very cute, and no one thought it. She was the only one that actually thought that it was a cute thing. And the second thing, which is connected to Homare, this is the only thing that Homare did in this whole episode, which is probably going to be a link for next episodes, and it's probably going to be the theme of Homare's last episode, unfortunately. Which is the fact that Harry's going away. After it all ends, Harry's probably going to go back with Cure Tomorrow, HUGTTO, to the future. And Homare is going to be without Harry. Homare is already having conflicting feelings. We saw that in this episode. With very short scenes, Homare is always feeling down with it. And Saya is the only one that's noticing. So I think that this is a link for future episodes. Things are gonna happen. I don't know what is going to happen, but things are gonna happen. And we in next episode it's the Emiru episode, and the conflicting feelings of Emiru is when everything's over, Lulu is also going to leave and she's going to be alone because her life is basically Lulu. You know, she defines herself as being Lulu's partner, and I think that it's going to be a nice episode because she's gonna try to learn to detach a little bit and be a little bit more Emiru. I mean, Emiru is such a powerful personality, and she should try to, you know, open up and become Emiru by herself as well. I mean, we need that in life. We cannot depend on another person to define who we are. And that's what's happening with her character. That's why she did such a big drama at the end of the episode. The way she screamed at the end, oh my god. I almost screamed with her. Emiru is priceless. I love her. Anyways, guys, that was my view on episode 40. Please leave a comment with your views. Let's keep our talk in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.